In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to Robert's English Classroom, where you can improve your English vocabulary and English conversation. And yes, that was Donald Trump, and he is part of our new segment called English in the News. So this is our first English in the News lesson, where I will choose a popular topic in the news recently, and then we will look at the vocabulary and some of the conversation all around it. So let's get started. This week's topic of English in the News is Trump and the GOP race. Now, most of us know Donald Trump, but GOP and race, what does that mean? First, let's go back and listen to Donald Trump again.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Okay, so he is talking about running for president. He wants to be the president of the United States in 2024, and that is when the American presidential election is. But actually, it is starting a bit early, and the question is why. So let's look at our first article here. Trump widens lead in 2024 primary race. Okay, so a few vocabulary words to look at. First, what is the GOP? Now, GOP stands for Grand Ole Party, but it is the Republican Party in America. So in America, we have two big parties, Republican and Democrat, and Republican is sometimes known as the GOP. It goes back a long time ago, like a nickname for the party. So when you see GOP, we're talking about Republican, okay? Now, Trump is a candidate. That means he wants to be president. So he will try to be president and try to get votes to become president. He's a candidate. And now is the primary race. So the primary race is the primary election only for the party, only for the GOP. So Trump and some other candidates are going to fight and compete to become the GOP candidate for the election in 2024. Now, the title means Trump widens lead. The lead means he is ahead. He's number one, and the widen is it's getting bigger. So Trump is number one for the GOP right now, and his lead is bigger and bigger. It widens. And you'll notice here the Quinnipiac poll, P-O-L-L. A poll is when maybe the media will go around and ask many people their opinions and then mark their opinions. So according to this poll, people like Trump, and Trump is becoming more popular. Let's look at some examples. So in the primary race, Trump is leading. We know this because a poll asked many people who they would vote for. But there are other candidates who also want to be president. So let's look at the second article, which says Trump views DeSantis as strongest GOP challenger in 2024. Okay, so Ron DeSantis is another person who wants to be president. So he is a candidate for the GOP. And right now, he is second place. So he's a challenger to Trump. And this article is saying Trump views DeSantis. And here, view means that he looks at and he thinks that DeSantis is the strongest challenger to him in 2024. Okay. Now, there are many candidates, but DeSantis right now is the strongest one. At least Trump thinks so. So let's look at some examples. So Ron DeSantis is the top challenger for the 2024 election. Trump is winning now, but he views or thinks that DeSantis is strong. This is for the 2024 primary election for the GOP, also known as the Republican Party. So right now we are they are trying to win the primary, not the big election at the end of 2024. Next one. Trump confirms he will skip first Republican presidential primary debate. Whew, that's a lot of words, okay? So we have these candidates who want to be president. So sometimes there will be a debate. Now, a debate is when the candidates come together and people ask them questions and they tell you their opinions and they tell you why you should vote for them and why they should be president. That's called a debate. And sometimes there are just two candidates, but sometimes there are many candidates who are in the debate. So this article is saying Trump confirms he will skip the first Republican presidential primary debate. And skip means do not go. So he will skip the debate, meaning he doesn't want to go. He jumps over it, doesn't want to go. So he decides he will not go to this debate and he will let the other candidates debate amongst themselves. So some examples of this, there were 8 candidates at the first GOP debate. The GOP candidates did not skip the debate for the 2024 presidential election. So they did not skip means they went to the debate. Trump decided not to attend the first debate. And there's a picture there of some of the candidates, current candidates. These candidates may drop out later. So the next article says, former U.S. Vice President Mike Pence to enter Republican presidential race in challenge to Donald Trump. So here we have another person who wants to be a candidate. Now, enter the race means he will try to be president, so he wants to become a candidate. Former means he did the job before. So do you remember this person? If you follow American politics, Mike Pence was Donald Trump's vice president before. So former U.S. vice president means the vice president before, or he was a vice president before. So he was a former vice president. Mike Pence to enter means he will join the Republican presidential race to challenge Donald Trump. So he wants to become a candidate and try to become the GOP candidate for president. So here's a picture of Mike Pence. Mike Pence is the former vice president of the USA. He did the job before. However, he wants to enter the 2024 presidential race. So he wants to become president. So he will compete or fight for this. There are a lot of GOP candidates who want to become the next president. So in the beginning of an election, there are quite a few candidates, and slowly they drop out until there is one left. So let's review some of these important vocabulary words. The first one is GOP, which is the Republican Party. And GOP is a nickname, Grand Old Party. A candidate is a person who wants to become a president or leader, and so he will compete with other people to get votes. Primary race is the race to choose, or the election to choose, the candidate for the party, like the Republican Party. And then that person will go to the big election. Challenger is a person who is not the top person, but underneath, and they're trying to become the top candidate. And enter the race. Mike Pence enters the race, meaning he will join the election. He will become a candidate to try to become president, or try to become the GOP candidate for president. Okay, comment box quiz. First off, Who do you think will be the next GOP candidate for 2024? Is it Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, Mike Pence? I don't know. And does your country have primary elections? Remember, this is the primary. This is only for the party. And then later in 2024 will be the main election, which is one person for each party. And that's it. That is my first English in the News lesson. And I will do this about once a month. I'll choose an important topic or a popular topic, and I'll show you some vocabulary and some English conversation about that topic. Okay? So everybody have a great day, and keep following who will become the GOP candidate. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.